Just keep moving. That's the secret. Life isn't about waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect opportunity. It's about momentum. You want something, move. You feel stuck, move. You're broken, tired, defeated. Move anyway, because sitting still is death. Comfort is decay. Movement is the only thing that keeps you alive, keeps you dangerous, keeps you powerful. Most people are frozen. They sit in their rooms, scrolling through their phones, feeding their minds with distractions and illusions. They say they want success, but they move like they're dead. They wait for motivation to show up like it's some divine gift that's supposed to land on their lap. They wait for someone to come save them, validate them, carry them to greatness. That's not how it works. The world owes you nothing. If you want power, if you want freedom, if you want to dominate your environment, you have to create it. You have to take that first step, and then another, and another. That's how momentum is built, one ruthless decision at a time. People are obsessed with comfort. That's why they stay broke. That's why they stay weak. Comfort is a trap. It feels good in the moment, but it robs your future. You lie in bed when you should be up grinding. You party when you should be building. You talk about plans instead of executing them, and then you wonder why nothing changes because you're static, you're still. And stillness is the breeding ground for regret. Years pass and you're in the same place, same problems, same excuses, same stories. You're not stuck because life is unfair. You're stuck because you refuse to move. Everyone wants the rewards. They want the car, the house, the lifestyle, but nobody wants to crawl through the dirt for it. Nobody wants the sacrifice, the pain, the discipline. You can't have power without paying the price. Movement is the price. Daily movement, ruthless movement, strategic movement. It's the decision to keep going when everything in you screams to stop. That's the price of freedom, and if you're not willing to pay it, you don't deserve the rewards. You don't deserve peace, you don't deserve wealth, you don't deserve respect because you haven't earned it. You earn it by refusing to stay down. Every time life punches you in the face, you stand up faster. Every time you get knocked off track, you adjust and keep moving. You train yourself to become relentless. You train your mind to ignore comfort. That's how you win. There is no other way. Winners are not the most talented. They are not the most gifted. They are the most consistent, the ones who kept moving even when it made no sense. The ones who refused to stop when the odds were stacked against them. Movement builds resilience. You grow stronger with every step. You learn faster. You become sharper. You stop fearing failure because you realize failure is just a part of the journey. It's not a dead end, it's feedback. It tells you what doesn't work so you can find what does. But if you're too scared to move, you never get that feedback. You stay stuck in theory, stuck in fear, stuck in your own head. And while you overthink, someone else is out there executing, learning, growing, dominating because they kept moving. You don't need a map, you need motion. Most people spend their entire lives trying to figure out the right path, the perfect plan. Perfection is the enemy of progress. You want clarity, take action. You want confidence, take action. The answers don't come from sitting still, they come from movement. Take that risk, make that call, start that business, hit the gym, write the first chapter, launch the product. Whatever it is, just do it. You'll figure it out as you go. You're not supposed to know everything. You're supposed to become someone who can handle anything. There's power in motion, power in showing up daily, power in refusing to quit. Every single day you show up, you're sending a message to the universe, to your enemies, and to yourself that you won't be broken. That no matter what comes, you're still here. Still standing, still moving. That kind of mindset terrifies the average man. It separates you. It makes you unshakable, because while the rest wait for permission, you take action. While they wait for signs, you create results. Stop waiting for the fear to go away. It won't. Stop waiting for the doubt to disappear. It won't. Stop waiting until you feel ready. You won't. You move anyway. You move with fear. You move with doubt. You move with uncertainty because movement itself destroys fear. Action kills hesitation. Every time you move forward, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses. That's how self-respect is built. That's how confidence is forged, not by thinking, not by wishing, by doing. People waste their lives trying to be perfect before they begin. That's loser behavior. Winners don't wait for perfect, they adapt in motion. They launch, learn, adjust, evolve, but they never sit still. There is no power in sitting still. That's where your mind turns against you. That's when you start believing the lies. I'm not good enough. It's too late. I'll never make it, lies. All of it, lies created by inactivity, by stagnation. You want to kill those lies, move, prove them wrong, turn movement into your default setting. When life hits you, your instinct should not be to retreat, it should be to strike back. With more discipline, more work, more fire, when pain comes, don't sit in it, run through it. Use it. Let it fuel you. Let it remind you why you started. Pain is not your enemy, it's your alarm clock. It's telling you, wake up, move, fight. But most people run from pain, they hide, they numb it with distractions. That's why they stay average. That's why they never rise. Pain is the price, and movement is how you pay. You have to develop a bias for action, a mental framework where the default answer to every challenge is, let's go, and not, let me think about it, and not, let me plan for 6 months, and not, maybe next year, just go. Now, fast, ruthless, that's how momentum is created. You build it through decision after decision, day after day, until the force of your movement becomes unstoppable. You think those at the top were lucky? No, they just kept moving longer than everyone else. They endured more, they failed more, they sacrificed more, and because of that, they earned more. Everyone wants to eat, but few are willing to hunt. Few are willing to bleed, and fewer still are willing to do it alone, but that's what it takes. You have to be willing to move even when no one supports you, no one claps, no one believes. That's what separates the strong from the weak. The few from the many. The truth is, the moment you stop moving, you start dying, not physically, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You begin to rot, you begin to shrink, and life punishes stagnation. It rewards action. You want more, become more. You want to rise, move. It doesn't matter if you're limping. It doesn't matter if you're crawling. Forward is forward. Progress is power. And as long as you're moving, you're growing. Even when the path is dark, move. Especially when the path is dark, move. That's when growth happens. That's when your character is forged. That's when you earn your stripes. Anyone can move when it's easy. But the ones who move through storms, those are the ones who become legends. That's how leaders are made, in the trenches, in the chaos, in the pain. And they keep moving not because they feel like it, but because they decided to. It's a decision, not a feeling. Every time you want to quit, move. Every time your mind says, it's too hard, move. That voice in your head that tells you to stop. That's weakness. You kill it with action. You drown it out with movement. You don't negotiate with weakness. You override it. You dominate it. You suffocate it with action, with purpose, with forward momentum. This world is brutal. It rewards savages. It rewards those who move with clarity, with aggression, with discipline. It crushes the ones who hesitate. It devours the ones who wait. You don't want to be food. You don't want to be forgotten. You want to be remembered. You want to be respected, then earn it, build it, move toward it every single day, no matter what. And when others fall, you rise. When others freeze, you strike. When others quit, you move. Because in this life, that's what separates the hunted from the hunter. Movement, relentless, fearless, disciplined movement. That's the edge. That's the difference. And that's the price of greatness. Just keep moving. That principle doesn't stop once you've gained some traction. In fact, the higher you rise, the more dangerous it becomes to slow down. Because now the pressure is greater, the stakes are higher, and the eyes are watching. People think once you start seeing results, you get to relax. Wrong. That's when the real war begins. The moment you ease off the gas, someone hungrier than you is closing the gap. Success isn't a destination, it's a battlefield, and movement is your only defense. You build momentum, and the world starts to notice. Suddenly, the same people who mocked you want to be your friend. The same ones who doubted you now want to ride your wave. That's when it gets tricky. Because praise is poison, comfort is seductive, the applause feels good, and the temptation to coast becomes stronger. But you can't let it fool you. You didn't get here by luck. You got here by grinding when no one was clapping. And if you stop moving, all of it fades, all of it gets taken. This world doesn't care what you did yesterday, it only cares what you're doing today. So you move when it's boring, you move when it's lonely. You move when you don't feel like it, because you understand that discipline is stronger than emotion. The average man is a slave to his feelings. He moves when it's easy, when it's fun, when he's motivated. That's why he loses. Winners operate on discipline. They show up regardless of mood. They train when tired. They execute when uninspired. And that's what makes them unbeatable. Not talent, not luck. Ruthless discipline. You have to become obsessed with forward motion. It doesn't matter if it's 1% improvement. Take it, stack it, compound it. That's how giants are built, brick by brick, inch by inch. You don't need to leap every day. Some days it's a crawl. Some days it's a grind, but as long as you're moving, you're winning. Momentum doesn't require perfection, it requires consistency. Every rep, every call, every hour, it matters. People underestimate how powerful small actions become when you stack them relentlessly over time. Most people burn out not because they're working too hard, but because they're not moving with purpose. They chase everything, they get pulled in 100 directions, that's why they break. Movement without direction is chaos, it drains you. But when you move with precision, with intention, that's when you gain energy. That's when you build inner fire, because you're not just busy, you're building, you're carving out a destiny with every step. That's the difference, that's what sets you apart. There's no room for softness. The world doesn't slow down for your excuses. Life doesn't care if you're tired. Your goals don't care if you're overwhelmed. The mission stays the same. Keep moving, no breaks. No pity. You can cry, but cry while you work. You can bleed, but bleed while you climb. Quitting is not an option. Rest is not an escape. You earn your rest after the battle. You earn peace through pain. You want glory. It's on the other side of exhaustion. You want to live like a king, be willing to suffer like a soldier. The truth is, every excuse you make builds a cage. Every time you say, I'll do it tomorrow, you shrink. Every delay reinforces weakness. That's why movement is sacred. It kills delay. It kills doubt. You've got to be ruthless with your time, brutal with your standards, and relentless with your action. Because if you're not, someone else is. There's always a man out there moving faster, working harder, outthinking you, and if you slow down, he takes your spot. That's the reality. You're not just building a life, you're fighting for it. People will try to distract you. They'll tell you to relax, to enjoy, to slow down. That advice is poison. They're not looking out for you, they're projecting their weakness onto you. Misery loves company, and weakness hates strength. So when you move with intensity, when you demand more of yourself, it makes others uncomfortable. They'll try to drag you down just to feel better about staying where they are. Don't let them. Don't explain. Don't justify, just move. Let your results be the response. Let your dominance be the answer. You'll be tested, not once, not twice daily. Life will hit you with unexpected punches, illness, loss, betrayal, chaos, and in those moments, your instinct must be movement. Not retreat, not collapse, movement. That's how warriors are forged, through fire, through pressure. You want to become unshakable, move through storms. You want to become unstoppable, move through setbacks. Every challenge is a mirror. It shows you who you are, and every time you move anyway, you reshape that image. You become something greater. There's a certain confidence that only comes from movement. Not fake confidence, not the loud, boastful kind, the quiet kind, the kind you earn when you know you've put in the work, the kind that can't be shaken by opinions or setbacks. That's the confidence that terrifies people. Because it's real, it's built on action, and you can't fake that. You can't buy it. You have to bleed for it. You have to suffer for it, and that suffering must be chosen, voluntary, daily. Every man has a voice inside that tells him to quit. The difference is, weak men listen, strong men move. That voice never disappears, you just get better at silencing it. With action, with progress, with proof. That's the cure for self-doubt, not therapy. Not validation, proof, cold, hard, undeniable proof that you are who you say you are, and you build that proof by moving, by stacking days of execution, by living like a machine, not a victim. The faster you move, the harder it is for life to pin you down. You become slippery, unpredictable, dangerous. Momentum makes you hard to kill mentally, financially, emotionally. It makes you a threat, not just to your competition, but to your old self, the lazy version. The scared version, the broken version, every step forward buries him deeper. Every decision to move leaves him behind, and that's the goal, to kill the old you through motion. You want to be feared. Move different, you want to be respected. Move when others pause. You want to be legendary. Move when others break. The crowd moves with hesitation. You move with certainty. The crowd waits, you act. The crowd doubts, you execute. That's the separation. Not words, not dreams, action. Ruthless, unapologetic action. You'll reach a point where movement becomes who you are. It's not a tactic, it's your nature. You no longer need to hype yourself up. You don't need motivation. You just move because you've burned the boats, you've cut off all exits. There's no plan B. There's no escape, only forward, only next level. That's when you're truly dangerous, when motion is your identity. When you don't even think about quitting because it's not in your vocabulary. People will look at you like you're obsessed, like you're too intense. Let them, they don't get it, they never will. They're too busy explaining why they can't, while you're too busy proving that you can. You don't owe anyone balance. You don't owe anyone moderation. You owe yourself results. You owe yourself transformation. You owe it to the future version of you, the one who's already waiting at the top to become him. And the only path there is forward, fast, focused, fierce. Movement is not about speed, it's about direction. You can move fast in circles and go nowhere, so you align your movement with purpose, with vision. You don't chase everything, you move with strategy, with intent. That's how empires are built, not by chaos, but by calculated aggression. You plan, then execute. You analyze, then strike. You're not a pawn, you're the one moving the pieces. Every step you take forward sends a message to your future, I'm coming. Every step you take forward sends a message to your past, you didn't break me. Every step you take forward sends a message to your weakness, you're not in control anymore. That's what motion does. It transforms your mind, it reprograms your identity, it rewires your habits, and over time it builds something unrecognizable. You look in the mirror one day and you don't see the same man. You see a weapon, a force, a legend in the making. That version of you is not created by chance. He's built by repetition. He's sculpted by sweat. He's molded through fire. Every day you move, you chisel away the weakness and expose the warrior underneath. But stop moving even for a moment and the old habits creep back. The fear, the doubt. The softness, that's why there's no finish line, no end, just the next rep. The next move, the next level. That's how you stay dangerous. So no matter how far you've come, don't stop. No matter how tired you are, don't stop. No matter how impossible it feels, don't stop. The movement must continue, the fire must burn, the mission must advance, because there's no glory in standing still. There's no peace in playing small. There's no power in pause. All the strength, all the transformation, all the greatness, it lives in motion. And the second you slow down, the second you hesitate, the second you rest too long, you lose it. So you don't stop, you don't settle, you don't apologize, you just keep moving, always. So hear this: no matter what comes, no matter who leaves, no matter how heavy the burden feels, you do not stop. You are not built to crawl, you are not made to freeze. You are a force of nature, and forces move. When others hesitate, you strike. When others sleep, you build. When others quit, you conquer. Because you know the truth, the man who keeps moving, even when everything says stop, becomes unbeatable. This world bows to momentum, not excuses. So tighten your fists, raise your chin, and take that next step, because your future is not waiting. It's watching. Keep moving.